Welcome to Xtra presented by VDG Sports. I am your host, Vince Douglas Gregory. No filter. Very censored. Noobs, thank you for giving me an opportunity. Thank you for giving me a shot. That's all I can ask for. 1 second, 2 second, many thanks. I've went down this road once before, but I don't know how in depth I went or I got. We're going to get deep. We're going to get really deep here. And one of the main reasons, if not the main reason why I wanted to become a doctor. Yeah, about that. Regs, we back at it again. Regs, we do what we do. Regs, this feels and seems like it's every single day, but it's not every single day. It just feels that way because we got this special, we got this unique bond that we share, and we don't know what to call it. We do not know what to call it. However, sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. And one day, 1 month, 1 century, 1/1000th of 100th of a billionth of a year, somebody gonna come up with it. And when they do, we're gonna say, that's what it is. That's what it's always been. We're gonna retroactively say, that's what it is. That's what it's been. I mentioned one of the reasons why I had to get out and why I didn't want to proceed on becoming a doctor. You can go back and review the historical documents on that. I'm not going to go that direction with this because that's out there. That is out there in the ethosphere, and you can gully or eat it up if you choose to. I'm going to mention, and I'm going to go a little bit more in depth on why I wanted to go that direction in the first place, because usually it's something traumatic or something that happens to you and makes you want to go and do that, unless there's other factors that factors in, or it's tradition within the family, or there's multiple ways. But for me, it was more or less, I like solving problems. I'm a problem solver. I like to think. And also, there were things and there were points or periods within my life that I lost people close to me for a multitude of reasons. And so I'm already a problem solver. And now I wanted to utilize that skill set and utilize that to be able to prevent or do as much as I can so no one else is experiencing that same heartache, that same trauma, that same energy that I was feeling when you lose people close to you, when you lose people that you think that should be around longer than they were around. And it was a disease, or it was something for the most part that was preventable either with education, the right tools, and the right information, the right mindset, whatever it was just too soon, too fast. And you start having these thoughts. You start thinking about what could you've done. Did you do all that you could do? And that led me down to, okay, I need to try to help as many people as I can, help and do my part in problem solving and figuring it out so others don't have to either miss loved ones or be the one who is not around because of the many things that can happen as far as when it comes to health wise and things that you can control and not the variables that you can't control. even though some opportunities, some variables, some are harder than others, but it still was there, and it's still there. And that's what led me down to straight up wanting to become a doctor. It wasn't anybody within my immediate family that was, and it was a tradition like no other. No. That wasn't it. And it definitely wasn't about the money. I never actually looked at it from that point of view, and I never actually thought about it from that point of view. It was just me wanting to help, me wanting to do what I can possibly do and utilize my problem solving skill set that I thought and that I think is above average. Use it for good. Use it to do something productive. And that was one of the main reasons why one of the main reasons why I wanted to become a doctor, do the med school, and I didn't want to get in plastics. So no, that was not something that crossed my mind. Even though I did watch a few shows and docs about that life and about that, but it was just to entertain my curiosity. It was just to have some kind of knowledge of it. So if it ever came up, I'd know a little something, and I just don't have to be staring blank out into the sky, out into the ether, and just not knowing anything. And that was the reason. And as you know, fast forward, Regs, noobs, I'm still going to say go back and review the historical documents. I'm still going to tell you to do it. But hey, I'm going to give you the Vince's notes. Yay. Go ahead. Look at the person beside you. Go ahead. Stand up. Go ahead. Make your chest pop a few times. Go ahead. Do your happy dance. Go ahead. Do your money man dance. Do all of that stuff, because I'm about to give you the Vince's notes on this. I still would like you to go back and review, but hey, still do you. This is a no judge zone. Basically getting into that environment, everything that I imagine, everything that I romanticize and fantasize that being a doctor and the steps to become being a doctor, what it was not. It was almost the complete opposite. It was the cutthroat part wasn't something that made me turn around and say, nah, this ain't for me. Competition, while I don't necessarily compete with other people, I compete against myself. I don't mind competing with other people. I don't mind competition. I don't run from competition. I don't just say, oh, competition. No, I need a trophy. I need a trophy even if I lose. I need a trophy even if I'm not good enough. I need a trophy just because trophy makes my ego feel good. Trophy keeps my super ego at bay. Trophies. No. I don't operate like that. So it wasn't the competition. In fact, the competition I felt drove me a little bit harder because I was competing against myself and I wanted to be the best version of me. What got me bothered, not hot, not heated, but what got me bothered was everyone within my circle, because when you're pre-med and preparing and wanting to do med school, there's a small circle of you. There's a circle of friends of a friends, and everybody just know each other and run in the same circles, and recall Vince's notes again, noobs. Regs, you already know this. Me and my partner, we were known as the party animals. Kind of, yeah. I guess there's one reason why we didn't continue with pre-med and we went a different direction, because we were the party animals. We didn't. Yeah. I kid. But we were known as the ones who was a little bit wild. I just didn't like being in the library just to be in the library, and there's more to that than that. But I don't think enough times passed. And I'm going to protect the guilty in the game. But if you listening and you was a part of that group and you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. You know what happened in the library. You know some of the tactics and some of the things that you used to do. I'm going to stay quiet now, but just know I still got them receipts. Just know I, like you and everybody else, knew and know what was going on. But that's okay. I ain't going to snitch. I'm not. But I'm going to continue to protect the guilty in the game. But when that time run out, when that clock goes 0, 0, 0, 0, you best believe I'm singing like a bird. I'm singing like a bird because I got this bird-like voice. Bird-like voice. But until then, you are safe. Until then, you are safe. It was just that, the whole mindset, and it was like a race to the bottom, and I just couldn't understand. My little young mind couldn't wrap itself around that people wasn't in it about people for the most part. I was coming in from a different direction, a different choice, a different path, where I necessarily wanted to utilize my unique skill set to problem solve, to help other people, regardless of anything, regardless of nuances, just help. I value saving a life or being someone who have an opportunity to save a life. I value that as the highest regard. And that was me coming from the background of losing people that was close to me, losing people that I thought would still be with me today, losing people that I cherished, the ground that they walked on, and I'm never going to see them again. That's something that just doesn't go away. You learn how to manage that pain. You learn how to manage that heartache, losing someone close to you at a young age, losing someone close to you that should be here now, losing someone close to you that you would have been the same age as they were. All of that rolled into me was one of, and the most important reason why I was doing what I wanted to do. That was driving me. But the other side was pushing me away just as much. Pushing me away just as much. And that was just too much to bear. Because it just tapped into me in a way that I was not able to overcome. It tapped into me a way that just made me angry. Just got me out of my comfort zone, but also not knowing how to control what I can control and not knowing how to move in a room full of vultures. Thanks, Jay-Z. But for that, I had zero clue. So every time I was around, every time I hit a story, every time I had the conversation, I'm either defending, it became unbearable that so many people cannot actually care. And I know it's not everybody. I know it was different. I know there was nuance. I know there was maybe one or two who felt the same way as I did, but it wasn't enough. And I just felt bombarded with negativity, bombarded with things that I'm against, bombarded with a completely different point of view and viewpoint. I valued saving a life as the highest it can be within that. And if you value monetary gains or some kind of prestige as high as it can go, those are almost, if not polar opposite. And tie that into the emotions, tied it into everything and every people or everybody that I lost. That was just too much for me. That was too much for me to bear. That was too much for me to understand. That was way too much for me to make moves. I just couldn't do it. It didn't feel right. And even then, I was still going with what made sense and logically thinking things out. But I followed my intuition on that. I followed my gut feeling on that. And it just didn't sit right with me. It just didn't feel good. It just didn't feel good. And I didn't want to. How can I put it? I did not want that thrown back up in my face and then reliving all of the pain and hurt that I lost from each and every person in my lifetime that was close to me, and thinking that it's because of doctors like this. Yeah, that was just too much for me. I could not do it. And that's why I make jokes, and I'm okay with getting out and going a completely different direction, even though I still value saving a life or having the opportunity to save a life as one of the highest, if not the highest things that you can do. There's other ways to do it. There's other things you can do to accomplish that same goal, even though it's a different direction or a different tactic. And that took some time to coming around and figuring that out. Yeah, it did. But peace of mind and not being traumatized every time I go to work or every time I go to class. Yeah, I think it worked out, sort of. I think it worked out, sort of. Who knows? I sure don't. Or maybe I do. Thank you for listening. Be sure to check out the website at extra.vdgsports.com. That is extra.vdgsports.com. This episode is not being sponsored by VinceDouglasGregory.com. VinceDouglasGregory.com is where you can keep up with me, my whereabouts, my well-being, basically all things Vince. There's a YouTube as well. VDG Sports. Like, subscribe, share, basically do whatever it is you do there. Comment if you must. Yeah, do it. Noobs, thank you for giving me the opportunity. That's all I can ever ask for. Greatly appreciate it. Regs, hey, you know what time it is. Still not going to give it to you. Might not even give you anything halfway. I'm just going to say I'm out like peace.